The best things that you can do in this tank is use the gun depression that you have and try and be a nuisance to the enemy tanks. Fire 1-2 shots in succession and then just go for the cover and most of all don't get spotted. If you get spotted in this tank and you're not behind a rock in a hard place, then you're gonna die pretty fast. So this is one of those tanks in which you'll see that you do have quite a bit of flexibility, but at the same time you have a few limitations. So it's not a tank in which you can lead a charge. You should never do that. It's a tank to flank. A good penetration will allow you to hit most of your shots when you're flanked, right? So in this battle, what I'm doing is just going into this position over here in the middle, trying to provide a bit of flanking fire, and what I'm doing is trying to provide a bit of vision to, on my team, and also trying to provide a bit of fire support on spots that my light, like the ELC, is providing over there. So as you can see, the ELC is doing quite a great job in the middle, and I'm trying to support him as much as I can. So I almost clip the bulldog and I find the final shot. Hi guys, it's been a long time since I've made one of these videos. It's been a crazy period in my life, and not in a good way. So hopefully this is gonna be one of the videos that will be worth the wait. So today I want to talk to you about the Lorraine 40T. The Lorraine 40T is a French autoloader tank that has, when it was first introduced, it was one of the best autoloaders in the game. And even now, after probably 5 years or more since its introduction, it's still a pretty good autoloader because it still has the good things about the tank that makes it work even now. So the tank does have a really good penetration for a tier 8 tank. It has 300 average damage, which is the standard for all the French tanks. Also it has some really nice dispersion stats and also decent or reasonable aim time. It also comes with 8 degrees of gun depression and also 15 degrees of elevation angles. It has good enough gun traverse speed, and while the average damage per minute isn't great, it's not that bad because it's an autoloader. So regardless, you're gonna just use it as fire your 4 shots and then reload and go again. The thing about the tank is that it has 2.5 seconds intercreep reload, which isn't the worst, isn't the best, it's adequate, but it also allows you to fully aim or almost fully aim between shots, right? The aim time is 2.36, but in reality it's a bit longer than that. So it's mainly whenever you get the next shot, you'll be almost fully aimed, as long as you don't move your tank or move the turret, right? So also the tank reloads every 30 seconds, so you're gonna do decently to relocate and be a nuisance. So this tank needs to be a flanker, and a flanker that can also spot. The tank does have really nice specific power to weight ratio. It has 40 tons, as it says on the tin over here, right? It goes pretty fast, 60 kilometers per hour, and it also reverses quite nicely. The concealment isn't the worst, isn't the best, but it's pretty decent for a medium tank. It also can spot pretty nicely, like I just said. And what I'm using over here, is actually the hull traverse speed increase, the dispersion during movement dip, and also I'm using the top reverse speed increase and the suspension repair. Plus I'm also using the scouting extra slot over here. So the tank is a fairly standard um, medium tank autoloader, but I'm gonna tell you that it's a really nice one because it always can do the damage and it always will create a bit of profit for you. Let me put myself back over here. Alright, so as you're seeing over here, this is a tier 9 battle in which I'm playing in my Lorraine 40, which is autoloading one of the older autoloading tier 8 premium tanks, which is one of also my favorite tanks that I'm using in the frontline mode because it does have potential of 1.2k damage, and it's a really nice pen, and also it has the mobility that heavier tanks, and also the camo that heavier tanks such as the Samoa don't. Right, so I do like my French autoloaders because they do have quite a nice amount of potential that to do quite a nice amount of damage. As you can see, the gun does need around 3 seconds to full aim, so the 2.5 second intercurrent reload, it's mainly you can use it when you're at medium to close ranges. Other than that, you should probably try to aim a little bit faster, although the reload time is pretty decent. One thing you need to know in this tank that you don't have any kind of armor, right? So the best things that you can do in this tank is use the gun depression that you have and try and be a nuisance to the enemy tanks. Fire 1-2 shots in succession and then yeah, just go for the cover, and most of all, don't get spotted. If you get spotted in this tank and you're not behind a rock in a hard place, then you're gonna die really fast. So this is one of those tanks in which you'll see that you do have quite a bit of flexibility, but at the same time you have a few limitations. So it's not a tank in which you can lead a charge. You should never do that. It's a tank to flank. A good penetration will allow you to hit most of your shots when you're flanked, right? So in this battle, what I'm doing is just going into this position over here in the middle, trying to provide a bit of flanking fire onto the enemies in the middle, and yeah, just doing a bit of standard work, then reload, don't overexpose, and yeah, just play at the limit of the spotting range of the enemy tanks. As you can see, there are a few Titans over here, which surprisingly are a bit afraid of the low because they don't really know what's on that side. There's also my tank over here, and I think there might be some tanks like the guard on the hill, which are providing quite a bit of fire support for our road. So I think they're making a mistake, the T10 and the 110, by not advancing, but at the same time, when you do make a mistake, don't try and ignore them, right? So as you can see, I just did 1.3k damage up until this point, and what I'm doing is trying to provide a bit of vision on my team, and also trying to provide a bit of fire support on spots that my light, like the ELC, is providing over there. So as you can see, the ELC is doing quite a great job in the middle, and I'm trying to support him as much as I can. So I almost clip the bulldog, and I find the final shots, and now the bulldog is no more, right? So as you saw, the tank does have pretty nice potential, and the best thing about it is that you don't really need to use premium rounds with it. So most of the time, when you're gonna play this tank, you should flank. If you don't flank, you're gonna die. You're gonna die fast. So you're not playing the tank well if you're not doing that. As you see right now, I'm able to spot the enemy tanks, but I don't really have the angle. I'm a bit exposed over here. I'm a bit concerned that I might get spotted by the 110. So right now I'm just happy to stay over here, not move. At the same time, I'm seeing the Scorpion. I fire one, a bit too rushed, miss. Fire the second one, then it's a bit better. The third one goes in the side, and then the fourth one also doesn't hit the armor. So that's the world's luckiest Scorpion G, and I do take a big shot from the 110 over there. The hit round as well, because everyone slings, and the mother's sling hit today. I don't know exactly why, because sometimes just firing standard ammo is quite enough, especially against lightly armored tanks such as this one. Maybe he was fighting the low, so what can you do? Right, so as you see, at this point I do have 2.5k damage done, and what I'm doing is just playing the position. I'm constantly checking the map. Unfortunately, we're down 5.3k damage, so things aren't looking that great. On the bright side, we do have some tanks which are providing vision, like the ELC and the guard for our DB over here, the G-Sor, and we also have an RT which is doing some good work. Now I'm a bit concerned. I'm not sure I can push the Skoda. The Skoda isn't playing too great. He's just sitting in one place. He shouldn't be doing that. He's not top tier tank. He shouldn't do that. And now the T10 is taking. He did make a mistake. Instead of going towards the low, he's going in the middle, which is a bad call in my opinion. And now he's losing quite a bit of HP, right? So what I'm trying to do is now see where the guy is, fire one shot, get him, fire the second one, get him again. The third one it's only absorbed with 3 tracks, but I take my time and I managed to get the final shot in. And now I managed to take out the D10. He did a mistake, he was punished. Now he can go to the garage. This tank doesn't take well shots from the RT, so you shouldn't try and get shot by the RT if you can avoid it. Try and move quite a bit. Now I am focusing on this T28, but he's also doing a mistake. I think the enemies got a bit too overconfident over here. They thought they're gonna win the game pretty easily, so now they're taking a few shots in. Now the Skoda has made a mistake, and yeah, unfortunately I didn't pen the final shot, but the G-Sor has taken him out, so that's pretty good result. We're still on HP down, and I still need to do a bit of work against this one there. I'm at 4.3k damage. I'm a bit indecisive, I have to admit, so I do know that I need to start moving, because there isn't any kind of threat remaining on the enemy team except for the RT, I guess. At the same time I should go and try and get this 110. I'm a bit concerned that maybe the Scorpion might be behind me, a bit paranoid maybe. Should have been probably a bit more decisive, but what can you do? I do start aiming, I take one shot, then I ricochet the second one, and now the 110 knows that I'm behind him. I only have 1 minute and a half, so I do need to start doing a bit of pressure. So this is the moment when I decide, okay, I can't stay anymore. We're 2k down, we need to move now. So the guys are starting to move towards the base, try and cap it. The Scorpion gets killed, so we do have a pretty nice movement over there. I go and I fire one towards the 110. I fire the second one, and I finally do a bit of damage. This was a pretty disappointing clip, but then again I did 4.5 damage, so I mean, you lose some, you win some. I'm not the best player in the world of tanks, so I do manage to spot the RT, and now I'm trying to reload to get the RT. The RT gets ammo right by below, so that's a good result always. So now it's just, do I go towards the rest of the enemy team, or do I try and cap? There's only 20 seconds left, or 30 seconds left, so I need to go in the gap. And yeah, we're just gonna satisfy ourselves with the win. So it was a pretty decent game in the Lorraine 40T, and this is what this tank can do. It can provide fire support pretty accurately at even long ranges, and yeah, it will do it quite nicely with the good pen. You don't need to use any kind of gold if you don't need it, and I just keep the gold if the game goes long enough, but I typically don't use it. So you do quite a bit of credits, you get a win, and yeah, it's a tank that I do enjoy quite a lot, and sometimes I even prefer it to the Bourrasque, because I don't like the Bourrasque the fact that it has such bad pen, and it has even worse. I think it has worse HP or not. I don't know. Anyways, I don't like the gun handling on the Bourrasque as much as on this tank. So I do prefer this tank's penetration a lot more on than the Bourrasque. This is what I alternate in the frontline mode. So, yeah, that being said, I do want to thank you very much for watching this short clip for today. But I hope that this showed you the potential of the Lorraine. And yeah, if you do want to try and play it, I do encourage you to pick it up whenever you can, because it's a tank that it's basically timeless. It doesn't have any armor, it never had, but it does have the potential of doing quite a bit of damage, especially if the games are a bit longer than the 3 minutes that you're typically gonna have with this kind of tank. And always clipping a T10 is gonna be satisfying, or also a Skoda T50. So why not? It's a good tank with good mobility, with good firepower, good penetration, and yeah. So as you saw in this battle, over here I did 4.6k damage in the game, netting a high caliber and also a Levashlayo medal, and also mastery badge and a stack with the tank. This allowed me to get 1.3k base experience, and finish both force and damage and the unexperienced, right? This, without any kind of credit boosters or anything like that, will net you around 100k profits. You will notice that the rounds are on around 1000 purchase, so they're not the cheapest ones, but they're good enough, right? So yeah, it's a pretty good tank of also making some credits. You'll notice that I fired 28 shots, 23 were direct hits, and 17 were pen. So roughly around 60% of your shots should go in, which is pretty decent, because you do have the nice pen, right? So this tank has good enough pen, so it will allow you to actually do pretty well over here. That being said, thanks very much for watching until the end of the replay, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye now.